What's going on, guys? JPP2 here. Hope you guys are enjoying your Friday. And for today's matchup, we have a Prank Kids versus a Floowandereeze matchup with my opponent playing Floowandereeze going first. Now, if you guys are paying attention to the intro, I did say Prank Kids, not Adventure Pranks. It's because I'm sort of experimenting with my deck list right now in this extremely Flu heavy meta, especially after the Advent got released. People have been spamming Flu like crazy. I have adopted a new deck list that I'm sort of testing out on my main account in my ranked matches. My main account is, I believe, Diamond 2, so we're testing it out in Diamond 2, see how this goes. So this deck list, again, is an experimental deck list. I would not suggest playing this because I'm running 9 copies of anti-flu cards in this deck list. I'm running 3 Droolan Logbird, 3 Lancia, and 3 Twin Twisters. I have taken away the Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. I don't think I see Despias anymore running about, so no Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. I did, however, put in the Dark Tech back from my old days, which is the card you guys are seeing in my hand right now, Skill Drain. Skill Drain kills off Flu players completely, or for the most part. So this card being a really good card. I have cut down on Max C from 2 to 1 because again in a Flu heavy meta, Max C is pretty useless. I only keep 1 copy in case I needed to cross out with my cross out if my opponent does Max C me. So in this specific game, the opponent is going first and he gets the full Flu combo. Like, this guy started with the most optimal hand. He started map plus the Eaglin, which is like, the most busted combo you can start with. And us being, the unlucky pranks player, we do not have a single hand trap we can use to interact with our opponent's combo. So it goes the Eaglin into Rabina, Rabina search out his card, goes into Empen, gets the Empen search for the Dreaming, gets the statue, and he sets down 2 cards, passes his turn. At this point, I'm thinking, I cannot play against this. Like, if I commit my normal summon to the play, that means it's going to trigger out the map. He's going to put the Ryza, since he knows I'm playing Prank Kids, he's going to bounce my card, that's going to be the end of my turn. I don't want him getting any triggers off. So what I end up doing is that I show him I'm playing Prank Kids, I activate plays to try to bait out an Ash Blossom if the opponent did have it. Turns out he did not want to throw it in my face, so that's good for me. I search for a Prank Kids named card. Then we set down our Lampsies, set down Skill Drain, set down Pranks, and pass our turn. The reason why I set down Pranks is because in case this guy does go off into Ryza with the Dreaming Town, what could end up happening is that if he goes into Ryza, he could choose, like, it will be a 50-50 bounce on the back row, so maybe Skill Drain stays on the field. Now, I was fully going into this knowing that the Dreaming Town can be activated. He could have put the Avian on the field, which is the Omni, and if he puts the Omni, we basically lose the game from that point forward because we cannot even activate our Skill Drain. If we try to activate Skill Drain on the opponent's turn, he will use the Apex, negate it, destroy it, and that's it for the Skill Drain. Turns out the opponent is playing a Flu and he chose not to activate the Dreaming Town before I end my turn. At this point, it basically means if he has no back row clear or he has no unexplored in his hand plus a named big monster in his hand, we win the game from that point forwards. So he activates the map again, he shows me the Eaglin, he pitches the Tokan, puts Eaglin, Eaglin will try to activate its effect, he's going to chain block with Robina. Obviously we're going to flip over the Skill Drain right now. Skill Drain being flipped over means every single card on the field is negated. The Eaglin does not go through. Empen negated, the statue negated as well. Now us as a Prank Kids player, we can easily play under Skill Drain. Skill Drain does not affect us as much as it affects other meta decks. The main one being the, I believe, branded Despia plus the Flu. Flu is in the meta as I told you guys before. So again, I did search for this card with the Prank Kids plays, I believe, but if I had chosen to put down Roxy's, this card attacking into my Roxy's would have been really bad. So again, really poor choice on my opponent. Like, in this scenario, it did work out in his favor. But like, if I had set Roxy's on the field, he attacks with the Eaglin, he basically wastes the attack. So I would not be doing that. I would be attacking with the M-Pen first to try, like, I could have set down Fancies as well, right? It's a 2k defense monster, so like a really bad play on my opponent's part, but you know, Floo players are never punished. So he gets a 3.7 whack in the face. We go down to 3.3k. The opponent ends his turn. Now I draw into a Drool and Lockbird. Drool and Lockbird means that Drool and Lockbird at this point doesn't really matter, but it allows us to push past the opponent's Maxi in case they Maxi us. Because if the opponent draws one card with Maxi, we can Drool and Lockbird them. They do not draw any cards. But that locks us into not being able to draw cards as well. So that means we cannot search with our Doodle-Doo. I mean, Skill Drain's active on the field anyway, so we can't search for it with our Doodle-Doo anyways. But I'm just saying, in a situation where you do activate Drool and Lockbird, you yourself get locked out of the card searches as well. So keep that in mind if you guys do want to utilize this tech. So I go into my Meow move with my Roxy's, and there's a reason why I'm starting with the Roxy's instead of the Dropsies. Is because this card is useless in my hand. Maxi against Floo, as you guys know, extremely useless. So I want to banish out this card in the hopes of drawing something better, which allows me to push past the opponent's board, or you know, allows me to make more plays, go into combo extension like your Instant Fusion, right? Or our Corridor, which allows us to go into our Colossus. Again, really good card. So we chain block, the opponent maxis us, we don't care. We banish out the Maxi from our hand, draw into a Pandemonium. Like, this was insane, okay? I was thinking, if the Maxi does go through, we have to Drool and Lockbird the opponent so he does not draw a ton of cards. This card right here means that I don't even care about Doodle-Doo search. I could go into Butler this turn itself, which is insane. So with the Drool and Lockbird active, we don't care about the Doodle-Doo search. I mean, we cannot activate the Pranks recycle at the end of the turn as well, but we're okay with that as well. The opponent Ash Blossoms my Naked Graveyard activation, which is my Pansies. That means we have to utilize a really bad way to go into our Butler, which is, since I had Dropsies in my hand and I had Pandemonium in my hand as well, which I drew into with the Roxy's Banish plus Draw, I can now tribute the Doodle-Doo, target the two other names I need for the Butler in the graveyard, add them to my hand, use Pandemonium, go into Butler. Butler comes on the field with a 3.5k attack, and we do get the two graveyard activations of the Dropsies plus the Lampsies, burn the opponent for 500, get two specials. These two specials go off into our Bow Wow Bark. So at least for one turn, I would be immune to destruction through card effects. So if this guy had a Raigeki, for example, he cannot Raigeki me and kill my Butler, at least for the next turn. So with this, I started to think, do I want to pop the M-Pen? Now let's think about this. Let's think about the situation. In case he draws into an unexplored, and he had a big named card in his hand, he could tribute my Skill Drain along with his card. So Skill Drain gets rid of, and then that means the M-Pen comes online. And since we put our Butler face up attack, that means M-Pen does negate the Butler's pop. So if that sort of situation does happen, or in case he's running the Harpy's Feather Duster, he draws into Duster, he wipes out my back row, again M-Pen does come online, which negates our Butler completely because it is face up attack. So in this specific situation, we do have to kill off the M-Pen. We cannot allow the M-Pen to sit on the field. So with the Butler, we whack into the M-Pen, with the Bow Wow, we whack into the Barrier Statue, because again, if the Barrier Statue stays on the field, it does become a big hindrance to us as a Prankets player. I leave the Eaglin on the field, so that way he cannot, normal out a card and do stuff. Like, if he has a way to activate Eaglin and search for a name and gets unexplored, it would be really bad for us. So I leave the Eaglin on the field. Opponent's draw phase, we activate Bow Wow, target Pandemonium plus Pranks, add them to Pandemonium plus Fancies, add them to our hand. As I told you guys, we could not activate the Pranks recycle because we ourselves were under Drool and Lockbird as well. That's the whole reason why I could not activate Pranks. Otherwise I would have, and recycle, the first order of business would have been recycling my Meow move. So with this, the opponent activates Pot of D. Pot of D does not flip him over unexplored. He just gets a cross out, he sets down a card, sets down another monster from his end, ends his turn. I draw into my copy of Twin Twister. So with this Twin Twister, we activate it, and then I'm going to pitch my Fancies, pop two cards from my opponent's side. Map has to go because again, there's a real possibility of the opponent being able to out the back row, so I don't want Map being on the field. And I blind picked the card in the middle. Like, I thought this card was the Dreaming Town, but turns out the one in the middle was the Dreaming Town, so Dreaming Town gets popped as well. No Map, no Dreaming Town. Really good for us. The face down card he had set turns out to be Stry, which gets destroyed. At the end of the turn, we activate Prank's Recycle, draw into an Imperm. So from this point forward, it's basically this: Skill Drain being on the field, and our Butler with 3.5k attack. He does not have any single card he can use to go over our Butler as long as Skill Drain's active on the field. So in this situation, either he draws the out or we kill him. So he draws a card, he sets down a monster, passes his turn. Our turn, we draw into another Drooling Logbird, we set down Imperm, set down Pandemonium, kill off the Robina, end our turn. Now the reason why I set down Pandemonium is because if with the Prank's Recycle, we do draw into a named Prank's card and he does somehow out the Butler, Butler goes to the graveyard, activates a floating effect, puts the Bow Wow or whatever card we want on the field, we tribute it, we get more cards, we can't go into our Weather Washer. That's the reason why I put my Pandemonium on the field. So we recycle our cards, draw into Ash Blossom, pretty nice. Then the opponent's turn, he sets down another monster, passes. This is so great, Skill Drain just kills these guys completely. We draw into another Green Logbird, we kill off another Robina, end phase, we activate Pranks, recycle 3, draw into a Lancia again. Really good card to have against a bird player. At this point, the opponent tries to activate a Pot of E. Now, I should have Lancia'd him preemptively in draw or standby phase. That was a mistake on my part, but I'm thinking I have Skill Drain active on the field. The chances of him drawing into a pot are pretty low, and if he draws into one, I do have an Ash Blossom. That's the reason why I did not preemptively Artifact Lancia my opponent. Turns out, bad move. I Ash Blossom, he turns out to have a Crossout Designator. Now, that's not a big problem because Lancia does prevent the Crossout Designator from banishing a card, so Ash Blossom would have gone through, but we're wasting 2 cards instead of 1 single card. Seeing that, my opponent just scoops. He knows the game is done, he just scoops. That's it for today's game, guys. If you guys do enjoy this kind of videos, please consider hitting a like button, subbing to my channel for more daily prank video uploads. If you guys are interested in a live version of all of this, I do live stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/jpbduel. Link along with my schedule and a link to my Discord will be in the video description itself for you guys to check out. This is JP Duel signing off for today. I'll be seeing you all in the next video. Peace!